Angela Dorothea Merkel is a former German politician and scientist who served as the Chancellor of Germany from 2005 until 2021. Her tenure as Chancellor of Germany lasted from 2005 until 2021. She was the leader of the opposition from 2002 until 2005 and the head of the Christian Democratic Union from 2000 until 2018. She is a member of the Christian Democratic Union. Her extraordinarily low-key style of governing, which includes a way of speech that is almost purposefully dull, is supported by a wonderful intelligence, as well as spectacular preparation and painstaking effort. In every aspect imaginable, she exemplifies the antithesis of a showman. Because of her considerable education as well as her previous experience working in the scientific field, she is an excellent candidate for the role. Ironically, her long-standing anxiety about being observed in the East Bloc has provided her with the knowledge and skills necessary to protect her privacy despite the extreme scrutiny that comes from the media. She calls herself a reluctant feminist, and although it is obvious that she is a woman politician, she has never run for office in the capacity of a female candidate. Although it is obvious that she is a woman politician, she has never run for office in that she possesses a wealth of knowledge that the women of the United States can gain. Merkel was the first woman to hold the position of the German Chancellor. It is reported that Angie Hicks, better known by her stage name born as Angie, has a net worth of $50 million. She is famous for being the one who started the company known as Angie's List. This woman is responsible for creating and popularizing a website that compiles evaluations of various service providers in the sector. Only paying members to Angie's List are granted permission to publish reviews on the website. This exclusivity is what differentiates Angie's List from the several other review websites on the internet. More than 1.5 million people are presently subscribed to her website, the majority of whom are based in the United States and Canada. In addition to that, the website publishes over 40,000 new reviews every single month on average. The previous location of the headquarters was in Columbus, Ohio. William Bill Ostel was one of the co-founders of Angie's List back in the year 1995. Angie Hicks's income and net worth are as follows. Angie Hicks is an online entrepreneur from the United States, who now has a net worth of $190 million. Angie Hicks is the Angie of Angie's List, which is a popular website that collects reviews of various service industry providers in the hopes of serving as a word-of-mouth database on which consumers can find information on possible contractors. In case you are not familiar with her name, Angie Hicks is the Angie of Angie's List. Arianna Huffington's first venture into the business world was successful because she wanted to establish an alternative news platform. AOL paid $315 million to acquire the Huffington Post in 2011, which is now simply referred to as HuffPost. She remained with the Huffington Post following AOL's acquisition of the publication, rising through the ranks to become president and editor-in-chief before leaving in 2016. Arianna Huffington is a Greek-American author and businesswoman who is most famous for being one of the co-founders of the Huffington Post. She is also a well-known novelist and columnist, having penned a large number of books over the course of the past 4 decades. Since the sale of the Huffington Post to AOL in 2011, she has amassed a net worth of $100 million. Her most recent business endeavor, Thrive Global, which is a consulting organization with an emphasis on science-backed solutions to well-being, is projected to be worth a total of $120 million. She was formerly wed to former Republican Congressman Michael Huffington, and the couple divorced in 1997. She is the mother of 2 children, and her sister, Agape, is a best-selling author and motivational speaker. She was a co-founder of the company. Earned a total of $100 million with the acquisition of the Huffington Post by AOL in 2011. She attended the University of Cambridge, where she earned a degree in economics and served as the first non-local president of the Cambridge Union. Has written a total of 15 books, the first of which, The Female Woman, was published in 1973. After Reason, her second novel was turned down for publication 37 times until it was finally accepted in the year 1978. Beyoncé, whose real name is Giselle Knowles Carter, is an R&B singer who became famous as the lead singer of the all-girls group Destiny's Child, which also included Kelly Rowland and Michelle Williams. Beyoncé became a solo artist after having a very successful time with a girl group that became one of the best-selling girl groups of all time. Her first album as a solo artist won 5 Grammy Awards and sold more than 11 million copies around the world. Her group, which became known as Destiny's Child, went on to become a very popular music group. After that, Beyoncé started a solo career as a singer and actress that was even more successful. The girls changed the name of their group to Destiny's Child in 1993, and in 1997, they put out their first album, which was also called Destiny's Child. More than 8 million copies of the album were sold all over the world. Their third album, Survivor, did even better than their first 2. The album went straight to number 1 on the Billboard 200 chart, and the group was nominated for several Grammy Awards. Both Survivor and Bortalicious did very well as singles. Beyoncé decided to go solo after the success of her girl group. Her first solo album, Dangerous in Love, came out in 2003. Caterina Fake embarked on a career in business at a very impressionable age. Caterina's major at Vassar College was English literature. She feels that the training she received helped her to view things in a new light, which provided her an advantage in the Silicon Valley workplace. Because of this, Caterina often advises business owners to recognize aspects of themselves that are not in line with what the majority of people anticipate from them. Caterina Fake was one of the first people to use social media. She is famous for creating Flickr, which is a community on the internet for uploading and exchanging photographs. Flickr, on the other hand, does not register with her as a social media network. Fake believes that time was a significant factor in Flickr's success. Fake thinks that the most important aspect of a business is its people. As a result, once Flickr made investments in businesses that had this objective in mind, such as Etsy, Kickstarter, and Stack Overflow, these firms benefited from those investments. Caterina Fake is a prominent figure in the Silicon Valley community. She is now active as an investor in Yes VC and as the host and director of the podcast Should This Exist? Because of his involvement with Flickr, she was included on Time magazine's list of the 100 most important people in the world in the year 2006. Caterina Fake is one of the co-founders of Hunch. Before that, she was one of the co-founders of Flickr, a picture-sharing website that was eventually purchased by Yahoo in 2005. Previously, she held the position of art director at Salon.com. In 2006, she was recognized by Time magazine as one of the 100 most important persons in the world and was included on the Time 100 list. Catherine Isabel Audrey Kidston, better known as Cath Kidston, was born in England on November 6, 1958. She is a business owner, author, and fashion designer. Her company, Cath Kidston Limited, sells furniture and other items for the home in shops and by mail. Kidston is known for her patterns with flowers. Cancer killed one of Kidston's parents, and at age 37, Cath Kidston was diagnosed with breast cancer. She wanted children, but she couldn't have any because of her illness. After getting over cancer, Kidston opened her first store in London's Holland Park in 1964. By 2011, her brand was sold in 57 shops in the UK, Japan, Ireland, and Korea. Kidston says that her business makes things that people either like or don't like at all. People sometimes say that Cath Kidston has the same kind of effect on the fabric market as Laura Ashley did. Kidston is not just a brand, she is a real person who says that her childhood memories of a big, old house, boarding school, and ponies have influenced the colors in her stores. Cath Kidston says that her mom was a big reason why she started this business. Kidston's childhood has made her an ambitious, powerful woman who is in charge of her own life. Even with all of this, she likes to decorate houses. She has been interested in designing and rearranging rooms since she was a child. She has always been interested in business. Kidston wanted to make money, so when she was 17, she moved to London and went from job to job. Technology is one of the few fields where women aren't expected to make a name for themselves. In the same way, some women have broken all stereotypes and made their names in the world of technology, even though most tech-savvy men work in this field. One of these women is HTC's Cher Wang. Cher has reached the pinnacle of success in the tech world because she started HTC. Cher Wang is the daughter of Wang Laichun. She was born on September 14, 1968, into a powerful business family. Cher was sent to live with her sister in Los Angeles when she turned 15 because she was born to be an entrepreneur. Instead, she moved to Detroit. She gave up her love of piano to study economics. Love for smartphones with brand names. During her long trips to Europe, Cher realized that PCs were too big and hard to carry. A friend at Microsoft who was looking for a company to build handheld devices with the Windows CE operating system got in touch with Cher. She thought it was a great chance, so she and Cho started their own company, HTC. The plan was to work with other companies to make cell phones and PDAs by becoming a contract manufacturer. HTC also made the G1, which was Google's first Android phone. In the years that followed, HTC built a strong reputation as the official maker of handheld devices for all of the top mobile phone brands. She had a different plan for HTC. She wanted HTC to be a leading brand of smartphones and not just a contract manufacturer. Over the years, HTC has also built a strong relationship with Microsoft, which turned out to be very helpful in the long run. Debbi Fields is an American businesswoman, best-selling author, and founder of the Mrs. Fields chocolate chip cookie franchise. She was born on September 18, 1956. At age 20, Fields was a young housewife who didn't know anything about running a business. She had a dream, a recipe, and a strong desire to give other people her chocolate chip cookies. Debbi was born in Oakland, California, to a Navy welder and his wife. She grew up in a middle-class family, and her parents taught her that you have to work for what you want. As a child, Fields liked and was good at baking, especially chocolate chip cookies. At age 19, she got married to Randall Fields, a financial consultant and Stanford graduate who was 29 years old. At age 21, Fields opened her first chocolate chip cookie store in Palo Alto, California. She had a knack for baking and a strong desire to run her own business. Her store was called Mrs. Fields Chocolate Chippery, and she sold soft, warm cookies right out of the oven. As her menu grew to include more than just chocolate chip cookies, like other kinds of cookies, brownies, and muffins, she changed the name of her business to Mrs. Fields Cookies in 1980, and Debbi took over as president and CEO. Her baked goods, which were made with only the best ingredients, quickly became the go-to snacks for young city workers. Debbi grew her Mrs. Fields business while she and her husband Randy had 5 daughters and raised them. She had to balance her busy home life with the growing needs of her growing business. In 1987, Fields wrote her autobiography, One Smart Cookie: How a Housewife's Chocolate Chip Cookie Recipe Became a Multi-million-dollar Business. In her memoir, she talks about how her love of baking cookies in her home kitchen turned into a $450 million company and one of the most well-known brands of baked goods in the world. The UK gambling company Bet365's boss, Denise Coates, had her record-breaking pay cut for the first time in 3 years because the suspension of sports betting during the pandemic dramatically reduced revenues. Coates made £421 million in 2019, which made her one of the best-paid executives in the world. In the year ending in March 2021, however, she only made £250 million. Accounts released late on Wednesday show that she also got a piece of a £97.5 million dividend that was split between Bet365's 4 directors. Even though her base salary dropped by more than a third, Coates still made more than 16 times as much as Pascal Soriot of AstraZeneca, who was the best-paid CEO in the FTSE 100 in 2020. Soriot was rewarded for turning around the pharmaceutical group and creating one of the first COVID-19 vaccines. Bloomberg says that Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla, was the highest-paid CEO in the world in 2017. Musk's total pay was $6.7 billion, but most of it came in the form of stock awards. Taking into account the dividend, Coates' pay put her just ahead of Apple's Tim Cook, who made $265 million in 2021, according to Bloomberg. Coates has been one of the UK's highest-paid executives for more than 5 years. This is because she successfully grew the betting business that she inherited from her father, turning it from a humble beginning in a portable building in a Stoke-on-Trent parking lot into a global brand. Even though she is not named in Bet365's accounts, Coates is thought to be the highest-paid director. Bet365 has betting licenses in at least 16 countries where gambling is regulated. However, analysts and executives from competing companies say that a big chunk of Bet365's profits come from China, where gambling is not strictly illegal. Mrs. Folorunsho Alakija is a businesswoman and philanthropist from Nigeria who is very active. She is the vice chairman of Famfa Oil Limited, which is her family's oil exploration and production business. She is the vice chairman of Dayspring Property Development Company Limited, which is a real estate company with investments in different parts of the world. She is also the vice chairman of the world-class printing company Digital Reality Print Limited. As a member of several committees, she has worked for Nigeria. She is the first woman to be named chancellor of a public university in Africa. She is also a well-known public speaker. She writes a lot and has written many inspiring books, including her autobiography. The Commonwealth Business Forum has her on its board. She has won many awards both locally and internationally for different things. Folorunsho Alakija, a self-made billionaire who came from a poor background, has risen to the top of the list of successful people in this era. Even though Alakija is the richest woman in Africa, many people look up to her. She always talks about her life, her successes and failures, and how to stay hopeful and happy. Because of this, she is one of the most approachable and easy to understand business leaders of our time. So, what can we learn from all she has done that has never been done before? 3 years later, she made a deal with Star Deepwater Petroleum Limited to work together, a wholly owned subsidiary of Texaco. She then chose Star Deepwater to be the technical advisor for the exploration of her license, and she gave the company 40% of her 100% stake. So, it wasn't a surprise that they were successful in their exploration and quickly grew to become one of Nigeria's largest crude oil exporters. Gina Rinehart. She was born in Perth, Australia, on February 9, 1954. She spent her childhood between the Pilbara in northwest Australia, where she lived with her parents on large sheep and cattle properties, and St Hilda's Anglican School for Girls in Perth, where she went to boarding school when she was 8 years old. Since Mrs. Rinehart became executive chairman of the Hancock Prospecting Group in 1992, the group has gone from being in trouble and having money problems to being a very successful industry leader that employs many people in the Australian outback. Under Mrs. Rinehart's leadership, the Hancock Group has changed from prospecting to mining and investing in iron ore, copper, potash, gold, coal, cattle, dairy, and property. Under her leadership, the group has grown into one of the most successful private mining companies in the world and the most successful private business in Australia's history. Mrs. Rinehart has won a lot of awards for her important work, willingness to take risks, hard work, and contribution to Australia. In addition to the awards listed below, she has won more for Roy Hill, where she is executive chairman, Atlas Iron, a subsidiary of Hancock Prospecting, where she is also executive chairman, and Bannister Downs, a joint venture company that has won hundreds of awards for its high-quality dairy products. She also started Australians for Northern Development and Economic Vision, ANDEV. She has written 2 books and arranged and paid for the 3rd one about agriculture. She started Australia's annual National Mining and Related Industries. She is the patron of several organisations and a governor of AmCham, Australia. Australia and the rest of the world have taken notice of Mrs. Rinehart's business success, leadership in the industry, and contributions to the country. She got an honorary doctorate from Bond University, prestigious business awards from CEO Magazine's Chairman of the Year in 2014 and 2017, as well as their Lifetime Achievement Award, highly sought-after mining awards from Diggers and Dealers, including their trifecta in 2020, and prestigious international awards from S&P Global Platts and Mines and Money, among others. She is a leader in her field and has done a lot for Australia. Beyoncé Giselle Knowles was born on September 4, 1981, in Houston, Texas, to Matthew and Celestine and Knowles. She is one of the most successful African American women artists in the music business today. Beyoncé started performing when she was 7 years old. This performance convinced her parents to start preparing her for a music career. At the age of 9, Beyoncé tried out and was chosen to be the lead singer for the band Girls' Tyme. 2 years later, the group performed on the national TV show Star Search. This made the girls work hard to improve their dancing and singing skills. When Columbia Records signed Girls' Tyme in 1996, they changed their name to Destiny's Child right away. In 1997, Killing Time was recorded for the movie Men in Black. The group's second album, The Writings on the Wall, came out in 1999. In February 2001, President George W. Bush asked them to play at the White House because of how popular they were getting. In the fall of that year, the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers gave Beyoncé the 2001 Songwriter of the Year award. She was the second woman and the first black woman to win this award. Dangerously in Love was Beyoncé's first album as a solo artist. Her third solo album, I Am, Sasha Fierce, came out in 2008. Since her first solo CD came out in 2003, Beyoncé has sold more than 75 million copies of it around the world. Huda Kattan is a makeup artist, beauty blogger, and vlogger. She runs the most popular blog in the Middle East, which is called Huda Beauty. She also has a YouTube channel that is very popular. She is the most well-known beauty blogger and vlogger in the Middle East, where few women get into fashion and makeup. She is also one of the top 20 beauty bloggers in the world. Kattan was born in the US to Iraqi parents, but she lives in Dubai now. So, she moved to Dubai. Since then, she has not only become a very popular blogger and vlogger, she has more than 1.8 million subscribers on YouTube, but she and her sisters have also built the cosmetics brand Huda Beauty. This class made her life better and set her on the path to becoming a beauty blogger and YouTuber. In 2010, she started a blog called Huda Beauty, and it didn't take long for her to become very popular. Her blog is without a doubt the most popular blog in the Middle East, and it is also very popular in many other places around the world. Huda Kattan started vlogging after the huge success of her blog. She started posting videos about beauty tips and easy DIY fashion hacks. As of June 2017, it had more than 1.8 million subscribers. She is also a big deal on Instagram, where she has a crazy 20.6 million followers. Huda Kattan is a smart businesswoman as well as a blogger and vlogger. She is the brains behind the hugely successful cosmetics brand Huda Beauty. Indra Nooyi is the first woman who was born outside of the United States to run a Fortune 50 company. Nooyi started out in Chennai, India, and went to Yale's School of Management. She then worked her way up through the Boston Consulting Group, Motorola, and ABB before landing at PepsiCo. In her new book, My Life in Full, Nooyi talks about her legendary career, her amazing personal journey, and what it's like to be one of the most powerful women on the planet. Many people think that Indra Nooyi, a business leader and strategic thinker, is one of the best CEOs in the world because she led PepsiCo for 12 years. Under her leadership, the company made more money while also working to protect the environment and make its food options healthier. Nooyi also gives a lot of money to good causes. Her gift to the Yale School of Management, where she went to school, makes her the school's biggest alumni donor and the first woman to endow a chair at a top business school. Nooyi started working at Pepsi in 1994 when she was 38 years old. As she moved up the ranks at Pepsi, she helped shape the company's global strategy. She was in charge of the sales of Tropicana in 1998, Quaker Oats in 2001, and Gatorade in 2001. Nooyi was given the job of President and Chief Financial Officer in 2001. She came up with the phrase "performance with a purpose" as Pepsi's new motto. During that time, the company's annual net profit went from $2.7 billion to $6.5 billion, which is more than double. Janice Bryant Howroyd worked hard for more than 30 years to turn her small office with one phone line into a business worth millions of dollars. She started ACT Personnel Services, a top employment service, with $1,500 and a lot of hard work. Howroyd was one of only a few African American women who started their businesses in the employment service industry. Janice Bryant Howroyd was born in North Carolina around 1953. She was one of 11 kids in her family. During high school, she learned to be determined no matter what. Her parents sent her to the all-white school in town, where one teacher told the class that people of African descent were only good for slave labor and that affirmative action was bad for the country. Howroyd was upset, so she begged her dad to let her change schools. He gave her the choice, and she chose to come back. She did well enough to get a full scholarship to North Carolina A&T State University, where she got a bachelor's degree in English. Later, she went to North Carolina A&T State University and got a PhD in humanities. Howroyd was involved in her community and owned 51% of her business. Her children, Catherine and Brett, owned the other 49%. She was on the Workforce Initiative Board of the U.S. Department of Labor, the Board of Regents of Loyola Marymount University, and the Women's Leadership Board of the Women and Public Policy Program at the John F. Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University. She was married to the head of Apple One Employment Services, Bernard Howroyd. Jennifer Hyman is the co-founder and CEO of Rent the Runway, a company that is shaking up the $1.7 trillion fashion industry by making clothing rental an everyday service for women. In her job, she decides on the company's strategic goals and leads the company's growth in all areas, such as marketing, technology, products, logistics, and analytics. She and Jennifer Fly started Rent the Runway in 2009. Since then, they have raised over $190 million in venture capital and grown the business to have over 6 million members, 1,100 employees, of whom over 60% are women and 70% are people of color, and 450 designer brands. Jennifer is the CEO of Rent the Runway, which she turned from an idea into a high-growth, profitable company worth nearly $1 billion and one of the most loved brands. Jennifer has been recognized by Forbes as one of the 12 most disruptive names in business, by Fortune as one of the most powerful female entrepreneurs, by Trailblazers as one of the 40 under 40, and by Fast Company as one of the most creative people in business. She is also a frequent TV guest. She speaks for Rent the Runway on The Today Show, Good Morning America, CBS This Morning, Fox Business News, Bloomberg, and at major industry events. Jennifer was the Director of Business Development at IMG before she started Rent the Runway. There, she worked on building new media businesses for IMG's fashion division. She also ran the advertising sales team at WeddingChannel.com and was an in-house entrepreneur at Starwood Hotels, where she started Starwood's first wedding business, which was praised for being innovative on the Oprah Winfrey Show. She got her BA in English from Harvard University and her MBA in Business from Harvard Business School. Jennifer started the Rent the Runway Foundation in 2015 to help female entrepreneurs all over the United States build scalable, fast-growing businesses. She invests in and advises a variety of startups all over the US, and she is very interested in making entrepreneurship more open to people from different backgrounds. Jen and her husband and daughter live in Brooklyn. J.K. Rowling is a famous British author who wrote the Harry Potter books, which have been read all over the world. More than 400 million copies of her best-selling books have been sold, and she has won many awards for them. There have also been several blockbuster movies based on the books. In 2008, Rowling was the 12th richest woman in the United Kingdom, with a net worth of $1 billion. She has come a long way from being poor. In just 5 years, this woman went from living on welfare to being a multimillionaire thanks to Harry Potter. Leading magazine editors named J.K. Rowling the most influential woman in Britain in 2010. Both she and Harry Potter are now well known around the world. Joanne Kathleen Rowling was born on July 31, 1965, in Yate, England. She is the daughter of Peter James Rowling and Anne Rowling. Rowling has always liked to write stories. When she was young, she would read her short, made-up stories to her sister. Rowling then worked as a researcher and bilingual secretary at Amnesty International in London. Rowling wrote Harry Potter when she was poor and depressed. She and her daughter, whom she had from a short marriage in Portugal, lived on welfare. In Britain, the first book in the Harry Potter series came out in June 1997. It was called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, but in the US, it was called Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. The book was very popular with both kids and adults. Epic Systems is a healthcare software company in Wisconsin. Judith "Judy Faulkner is the CEO and founder of the company. In 1979, Faulkner started a company called Human Services Computing, which is now known as Epic Systems. Forbes called her the most powerful woman in healthcare in 2013, and in 2016, the magazine put her at number 722 on its list of the world's billionaires, with a net worth of $2.4 billion. Faulkner was born in 1943. She got her bachelor's degree in mathematics from Dickinson College and her master's degree in computer science from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Soon after she got her master's degree, Faulkner started Human Services Computing, which later became Epic Systems. Faulkner's parents put in some of the $6,000 that was used to start the business. Faulkner and her family own 43% of Epic Systems right now. Faulkner lives in the Wisconsin city of Madison. Dr. Gordon Faulkner is her husband. She is a co-founder of the biotechnology company Ginkgo Bioworks. Heather Hasson and Trina Spear, co-founders and co-CEOs of Figs, direct-to-consumer healthcare apparel and scrubs, were ranked 50th and 52nd with a net worth of $625 million and $600 million, respectively. Martine Rothblatt, who started the drug company United Therapeutics and came in at number 56, has a net worth of $585 million. Famous American socialite, reality television celebrity, model, and fashion designer Kylie Jenner is most known for her work in the fashion industry. It was the reality television show Keeping Up with the Kardashians on the E! The show capitalized, in large part, on the high-profile relationships maintained by her older stepsister Kim Kardashian. As a result of their roles in the reality show, Kylie and her elder sister Kendall Jenner shot to prominence almost immediately. They first became associated with a variety of different fashion labels and ultimately went on to start their label known as Kendall and Kylie Fashion. They also tried their hand at writing by having a juvenile science fiction book called Rebels, City of Indra written by a ghostwriter. Shortly after, Kylie started her career as a model, and soon after that, she began appearing in a variety of advertisements as well as music videos for prominent musical artists. In addition to that, she has introduced her lipstick brand called Kylie Lip Kit as well as a hair extension line called Kylie Hair Couture. It is well known that Kylie participates in a variety of different humanitarian endeavors. Additionally, she is one of the celebrities that has the most followers on Instagram. In addition to this, she was able to get her very own spin-off reality television program, which was given the title Life of Kylie and debuted on the cable network E! Lori Greiner started with a single idea and turned it into an international brand worth tens of millions of dollars. She is known as one of the most prolific inventors of retail products. She has made over 500 products and has over 120 US and international patents. Greiner is a well-known celebrity on QVC TV. For 18 years, she has been the host of her show, Clever and Unique Creations by Lori Greiner. This is clear from the fact that she has made a lot of money with her investments and that 90% of the new products she launches do well. She is also known for being a great negotiator and for being able to spot new brands and invest in them before anyone else. Lori is happy that some of her investments have turned out to be some of the most successful ones on Shark Tank so far. She is known for making some of the best jewelry and makeup organizers ever. She gets her ideas from her desire to make people happy by making their daily lives easier. Her products are sold on QVC and in stores across the US and Europe. Lori wrote her first book, Invent It, Sell It, Bank It, Random House, 2014, as a way to pay it forward. It is a national bestseller, one of Amazon.com's top 10 business books, and made the Wall Street Journal's list of the best business books of 2014. Lori shows you step by step how to make $1 million idea come true. Lori is also a sought-after speaker for high-profile companies like Chase, IBM, PayPal, the American Heart Association, and others. She encourages others to reach their goals and dreams, just like she has, and gives the recipe for success in her book and on stage. This also fits in with Lori's philosophy of helping others and sharing what she has learned so that others can learn from it. Together with her husband, Stewart Resnick, who holds the position of chairman, Lynda Resnick is both a vice chairman of the Wonderful Company and a co-owner of the business. Wonderful Pistachios, Wonderful Halos, Wonderful Seedless Lemons, POM Wonderful, Fiji Water, Justin and Landmark Wines, and Teleflora are just some of the well-known brands that are produced by the Wonderful Company, which is a privately held global enterprise headquartered in Los Angeles and operating on a global scale. The company also produces a wide variety of high-quality and healthy products. Mrs. Resnick is in charge of overseeing all aspects of the wonderful company's marketing and product development on a global scale. She is known as the POM Queen since she is responsible for making pomegranates and POM Wonderful, an antioxidant-rich pomegranate juice, a phenomenon all across the country. In addition, she is well known for developing innovative advertising campaigns and new marketing techniques, such as Get Crackin' for wonderful pistachios and flowers in a gift for Teleflora, the latter of which was honored with a Gold Effie Award. Throughout the course of her career, as her devotion to charitable work has increased, so has her level of commercial success. She is directly in charge of guiding the wonderful company's unique charitable projects, the core of which are attempts to improve the lives of people in the areas in which the company's employees live and work. Martha Stewart, who was born in 1941, has become more than a writer, performer, or businesswoman. She is now a well-known figure in the United States. She has made herself one of the most well-known brands in the world, and she now runs a $200 million empire based on the ideas of style, elegance, and home life. Martha Kostyra was born on August 3, 1941, in Nutley, New Jersey, to a large Polish-American working-class family. Her parents taught her to be independent. Both of her parents were teachers, and at home, they were very strict and organized. The Kostyra children learned to work hard because of these values. In her younger years, when money was tight, she had to do other chores like gardening, cooking, and sewing while her parents kept an eye on her. Stewart was a good student in school and started modeling when he was in high school. Stewart talked about those years in an interview with Morley Safer of 60 Minutes. "I spent my time modeling clothes at Bonwit Teller on 57th Street instead of going to football games with my friends. At first, I was making $15 per hour, which was a lot more than the $1 per hour we were making babysitting." Her pretty face and girl next door look made her a favorite with photographers. Stewart went to one of the best colleges for women in the country, Barnard College, in New York. Stewart went to Barnard to study art history. She kept modeling because she wanted to be successful, and soon she was in major national and international magazines. Modeling helped her pay for school, but she was still always short on cash. General Motors Chair and CEO, Mary Barra, is in charge of the company. She was elected chair of the GM Board of Directors on January 4, 2016, and has been CEO of GM since January 15, 2014. Under Barra's leadership, GM wants to see a world with no accidents, which would save lives, and no pollution, so that future generations can live on a healthier planet, and no traffic jams, so that customers can get back their most valuable resource, time. She is focused on improving the customer experience and strengthening GM's core vehicle and services business. She is also working to lead the transformation of personal mobility through advanced technologies like connectivity, electrification, and self-driving cars. Before becoming CEO, Barra had been GM's Executive Vice President of Global Product Development, Purchasing, and Supply Chain since August 2013, and its Senior Vice President of Global Product Development since February 2011. She has worked as Vice President of Global Human Resources, Vice President of Global Manufacturing, Engineering, Plant Manager of Detroit Hamtramck Assembly, and in several other executive engineering and staff. Barra is a member of the Walt Disney Company's Board of Directors, Duke University's Board of Trustees, and the Detroit Economic Club. She is also the chair and one of the first people to join GM's Inclusion Advisory Board. She is also a member of the Business Council and the chair of the Business Roundtable, where she leads the Education and Workforce Committee and a subcommittee with the same name for the Special Board Committee on Racial Equity and Justice. Melanie Perkins is the CEO and co-founder of Canva, an online design and publishing tool that makes it easy for anyone to make graphics. Since it first came out in 2013, Canva has grown to have more than 15 million users in 190 countries who have made more than 1 billion designs at a rate of 33 per second. Today, Canva is going from strength to strength, and its team of more than 500 people is working hard to help everyone make beautiful designs. Melanie Perkins, the co-founder and CEO of Canva, was named Australia's youngest billionaire just a few years ago. She is now one of the wealthiest people. Canva is now worth a whopping $15 billion, and since it is still a privately held company, it has made Melanie Perkins, Clifford Brecht, and Cameron Adams, who are the majority shareholders and co-founders, billionaires. The 34-year-old founder has been getting a lot of attention for a while, both as the face of Canva and as an inspiring female business leader in charge of one of the few profitable unicorns. Of course, there's also the fun fact that her paternal grandmother is part Filipino. Since she was born in Australia to an Australian mother and a Malaysian father of Sri Lankan descent, it's not surprising that her company has gone global, with one of its main offices right here in Metro Manila. Melanie Perkins is a billionaire businesswoman and one of the most important people in the startup world. Winfrey is an actress, a producer, and a TV legend. She was the first Black American woman to run her own production company. In her first movie, The Color Purple, she was up for an Academy Award. Winfrey used to be the best-paid entertainer on TV because she had a successful talk show that was seen by 15 million people every day. As someone who has been abused, Winfrey knows how bad it is for young people. She was a big part in writing the National Child Protection Act, lobbying for it, and getting it passed. This will help employers and other people who work with children weed out dangerous people. She gives a lot of help to schools and the Chicago public schools in particular. She also gives money to shelters for abused women and campaigns to catch people who hurt children. After Winfrey graduated, WJZ-TV in Baltimore, Maryland, asked her to do local news updates, called cut-ins, during Good Morning, America. Soon after, she joined Richard Scheer on the morning talk show Baltimore is Talking. After 7 years on the show, Winfrey was seen on an audition tape sent by her producer, Deborah DeMaio, to the general manager of WLS-TV, an ABC station in Chicago. At the time, her ratings in Baltimore were higher than those of Phil Donahue, a national talk show host, and she and DeMaio were hired. Before that, she had only done a one-woman show called The History of Black Women Through Drama and Song at an African American theater festival in 1978. Rihanna is a multi-talented artist who also works as an actor, businesswoman, and fashion designer. Jay-Z, who was president of Def Jam at the time, signed her to the label when she was 16 years old, and she had rapid success with her first song, Ponder Replay, which was released in 2005. She proceeded to release songs and albums that topped the charts, including the song Umbrella, which was nominated for a Grammy and included on her studio album Good Girl Gone Bad, 2007. In addition to her work as a musician, Rihanna has also had cameo appearances in several films, including Battleship and Ocean's 8. She also established her own inclusive cosmetics line, Fenty Beauty, in the year 2017, and in 2019, she collaborated with LVMH to establish her fashion line, Fenty, becoming the first black woman to head a luxury fashion house that is a part of LVMH. Fenty Beauty was named one of the most successful cosmetics lines of all time. In addition to that, she is the creator of the international lingerie brand Savage X Fenty. At the age of 16, pop diva Rihanna acquired a recording contract with Def Jam Recordings. In 2005, she released her first album, titled Music of the Sun, which has sold more than 2 million copies throughout the globe. She went on to record several albums and a variety of successful singles, some of which include We Found Love, Take a Bow, Diamonds, and Unfaithful. Rihanna is not just a worldwide pop phenomenon but also has an unrelentingly edgy image. She has also garnered several honors from the music business, including Grammys and MTV Awards. Sara Blakely is an American businesswoman and donor who was born in February 1971. Even though Sara Blakely had never worked in fashion, retail, or as a business leader, she started the famous shapewear company Spanx in 2000. The idea came to her by accident while she was trying to look her best in a pair of white pants. Forbes named Blakely the youngest self-made billionaire in 2012. After a big deal with the private equity giant Blackstone, her net worth is now an impressive $1.2 billion. Blakely started the Spanx by Sara Blakely Foundation in 2006. It helps women succeed in business, school, and the arts. This is a movement started by Bill and Melinda Gates and Warren Buffett in which the world's richest people promise to give at least half of their money to charity. Sara Blakely didn't build her $1.2 billion business the way most people do. Even though the founder of Spanx sold a majority stake to private equity firm Blackstone last month, one of the most traditional ways to get money, she got there on her own. Blakely thinks of herself more as an inventor than as a CEO. The company's first product started a whole new category, and now it's as closely associated with shapewear as Kleenex is with tissues. Blakely is mentioned in the Fortune December-January cover story Female Founders Are Crashing the Billionaire Club, along with Bumble founder and CEO Whitney Wolfe Herd and 23andMe founder and CEO Anne Wojcicki, as one of at least 3 women who became billionaires through startup exits or sales in 2021. Shery Sandberg now serves as Facebook's Chief Operating Officer. She is in charge of managing the company's commercial operations, which include the sales and marketing departments, as well as the human resources, public policy, and communications departments. Shery was the vice president of global online sales and operations at Google before she joined Facebook. In this role, she was responsible for building and managing the online sales channels for advertising and publishing as well as the operations for consumer goods throughout the globe. In addition, she played an important role in the establishment of Google.org, which serves as the company's charitable organization. Shery served as Chief of Staff for the United States Treasury Department under President Bill Clinton. During her time there, she was instrumental in directing the department's efforts to forgive debt in developing countries. Prior to joining Google, Shery held this position. Earlier in her career, she had positions as an economist at the World Bank and as a management consultant at McKinsey & Company. Shery was recognized as the best graduating student in economics and was awarded the John H. Williams Prize, which is given to the student who has the highest grade point average in their economics major. She graduated from Harvard Business School with a Master of Business Administration and achieved the highest possible distinction. Cheryl is a member of the boards of directors for many companies and organizations, including the Walt Disney Company, Starbucks, Women for Women International, the Center for Global Development, and V-Day. Cheryl was selected by Fortune magazine as one of the 50 most powerful women in business and by the Wall Street Journal as one of the 50 women to watch in the next years. Sofia Margarita Vergara is a Colombian-American actress and model who got her start as a co-host of a couple of Spanish-language TV shows on Univision. Sofia showed that hard work and persistence pay off in the end by making it through a lot of hard times on her way to success. She is best known for playing Gloria Delgado Pritchett on the ABC show Modern Family, for which she has been nominated for many awards. She also had important parts in movies like Chasing Papi, For Brothers, Meet the Browns, Madea Goes to Jail, The Smurfs, Happy Feet 2, The Three Stooges, Machete Kills, and Hot Pursuit. She has been the highest-paid actress on US TV for the past 3 years, and Forbes ranked her as the 32nd most powerful woman in the world. She has been a model for several brands and products, and she has her clothing line and jewelry collection. She is married to Joe Manganiello and lives with her son from her first marriage, Manolo, in Los Angeles. She beat cancer and now runs a foundation to help Colombian families deal with cancer. Vergara is the best-paid actress in the world. Her 8-figure annual salary comes from her job as a judge on America's Got Talent, which she does on TV. Vergara is also well known in the retail world. Her line of jeans at Walmart has sold enough to be 4 times taller than the Eiffel Tower. She also has a line of furniture at Rooms to Go and several perfumes. Sophia Amoruso started Nasty Gal, an eBay store when she was 22 years old in 2006. Early on, the company grew quickly by using Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, which are all powerful social media platforms. Amoruso left the company in January 2015 to focus on her #Girlboss media platform. In 2008, Amoruso took Nasty Gal off of eBay and made it its online store. In 2014, she published her memoir Girlboss, which Netflix turned into a show in 2017. From 2008 to 2011, Nasty Gal's sales went up, making it one of the retail companies with the fastest growth ever. In 2012, the company made more than $100 million in sales, raised $49 million from Index Ventures, an early investor in both ASOS and Net-a-Porter, and rented a 500,000 square foot fulfillment center. In November 2016, the clothing company based in Los Angeles filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy without its original CEO. Some of the company's vendors said they were owed up to $100,000, but Nasty Gal said its financial decisions wouldn't affect the day-to-day running of the company right away. Since then, Amoruso has focused on Girlboss, a media outlet and platform for millennial women entrepreneurs that she started and runs as CEO. Since February 2014, Ms. Wojcicki has been the CEO of YouTube, a digital video platform that is owned by Alphabet Incorporated, formerly Google Incorporated. In 1999, she joined Google as its marketing manager. After working in different marketing and product development roles, she was Google's Senior Vice President of Advertising and Commerce from April 2011 to January 2014. She worked at Intel Corporation as a management consultant for Bain & Company and R.B. Weber & Company before she joined Google. How Susan Wojcicki, who rented her garage to the founders of Google in 1998 and is now the CEO of YouTube, got where she is today. Most landlords just want their tenants to pay rent on time, keep the place clean, and not bother the neighbors. But Susan Wojcicki's landlords, Google co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin, ended up giving her something extra, the chance to be Google's 16th employee in 1998 when the company was just starting as a search engine. Of course, Wojcicki's rise through the ranks at Google has taken more than just a lucky break. Wojcicki has been a key part of Google's rise to become one of the most valuable companies in the world. She has helped grow the company's advertising business and persuaded its founders to buy a new video sharing service called YouTube. Tory Burch is a fashion designer and philanthropist who built a lifestyle brand worth millions of dollars very quickly. Her brand, which is called her name, is both classic and up-to-date. She planned her future as a designer by putting old and new pictures from fashion magazines in a scrapbook. During this time, she married William Macklowe, who was the son of Harry B. Macklowe, a wealthy real estate businessman. Her first collection was sold from her apartment in Manhattan, and then she opened a store downtown. Her clothes are sold in more than 1,000 stores, including Neiman Marcus, Bergdorf Goodman, Bloomingdale's, Saks Fifth Avenue, and Nordstrom. Tory Burch has won several awards, including Accessory Designer of the Year from the Council of Fashion Designers of America in 2008. In 2007, she was given the Accessory Brand Launch of the Year award by the Accessories Council of Excellence. In 2005, the fashion group International gave her the Rising Star Award for the Best New Retail Concept. Burch also helps people in need. In 2009, she started the Tory Burch Foundation, which helps American women get ahead by giving them small business loans and teaching them how to be entrepreneurs. She is also on the board of the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Vera Wang is one of the world's most famous designers of wedding dresses. She designs not only beautiful wedding dresses but also beautiful gowns and amazing evening wear. Her life and work have been very interesting. In 1990, she opened her first design salon in the Carlyle Hotel in New York City. Her now famous wedding dresses were on display at this salon. She has salons and shops in London, Tokyo, and Sydney, among other places. Her brand has grown to include more than just bridal and evening wear. Vera Wang has made perfumes, lines of jewelry, eyewear, shoes, and items for the home, such as china and crystal. Wang has made 2 lines that are affordable and can be bought by anyone. Simply Vera, her first line, came out in 2007. It's a joint project with the store Kohl's. There are clothes, shoes, underwear, handbags, bedding, and jewelry in the line. White by Vera Wang was Vera Wang's second line, which came out in 2011. It's a partnership with David's Bridal, and brides on a budget can buy wedding dresses for between $600 and $1,400. Wang Laichun is a very wealthy Chinese person who runs and owns 33% of a hardware company in Shenzhen, China that makes parts for Apple and is called the Luxshare Precision Industry. She is the chairwoman, and she also owns 33% of the company. She is also the founder of the company LuxVisions Innovation Limited. Wang went to Tsinghua University in Beijing and got an EMBA. Wang worked for Taiwanese businessman Terry Go's company, Han High Precision Industry, which is also known as Foxconn. She left in 1999, and her brother Wang Laichun helped her buy Luxshare in 2004. Her organization, Luxshare, is all about making modern machines better. It can easily meet the different needs of customers all over the world and help them move forward quickly. Luxshare Precision owns the core innovations and licensed innovations of its free products and works hard to develop, improve, and make things better and better all the time. Their overall presence lets them help their clients locally and gives them access to their many R&D and test offices around the world. They are focused on coming up with the best and most creative plans, and they keep growing their interest in R&D, supported new product development and mechanical development, along with regular, effective cost control and development of their manufacturing methods in areas like computerized modules, not only make sure that the company will be able to grow quickly and steadily in the future, but also give it a strong foundation to use industry-leading benefits. Yang Lan is a well-known broadcast journalist and media entrepreneur in China. She started the Sun Media Group and the Sun Culture Foundation and is the chairperson of both. The Sun Media Group is one of the best private media companies in China. Its businesses include TV production, integrated communications, events, and more. The Sun Culture Foundation is a non-profit group that works to improve education and encourage giving back to the community. Ms. Yang got her bachelor's degree in English Language and Literature from Beijing Foreign Studies University. She became a rising star when she was in charge of the Zhengde variety show on CCTV in 1994. She won the Golden Microphone Award for this. She got a master's degree in International Affairs from Columbia University's School of International and Public Affairs. In the year 2000, Ms. Yang and her husband, Dr. Bruno Wu, started Sun TV, which was the first documentary satellite channel in all of Greater China. A TV talk show for Chinese urban women was turned into a multimedia community to give women more power. She has always worked hard to improve communication between people of different cultures. She was chosen to represent China as an ambassador for Beijing's bid for the 2008 Olympic Games, and she was also named a Goodwill Ambassador for the 2010 Shanghai Expo. She is also the co-chair of the Lincoln Center China Advisory Council and the vice president of the China Charity Alliance. Ms. Yang has won many awards, such as Chinese Women of the Year, Top 10 Women Entrepreneurs, Makers, and she made it from the Paley Center for Media, Global Leadership and National Philanthropy from Columbia University Saipa, and Women's Achievement from China.